Welcome back, guys. In today's video, we are talking about everything you should expect on your favorite Staarlife series. We have the latest updates coming up this week, plus a sneak peek at what's happening in the upcoming week. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any Staarlife updates. Now let's jump straight into today's video. Neel confesses his love to Tejaswini, telling her that he never believed love could just happen until he met her. He recalls how fate kept bringing them together and expresses that he loved her from the very first moment they met. However, Tejaswini firmly rejects him, stating that even if circumstances were different, she would never accept him as he is not the life partner she envisions. She warns him never to bring up the topic again. Later, Neel checks on Vedant's interview, and Vedant happily shares that he has been accepted into the school. When Neel suggests going to a restaurant to celebrate, Tejaswini refuses, insisting they eat at home. Neel asks her not to take out her frustration on him, but Vedant pleads for them to eat out together. Eventually, Tejaswini agrees for Vedant's sake. Returning home, Vedant shares his good news with Omi and the family. However, Lakshmi and Satish criticize him for eating outside instead of waiting until he got home. When they learn that Tejaswini also ate with Neel, they reprimand her for not refusing his invitation. Juhi questions why it's an issue, but Satish dismisses her. When Lakshmi asks Vedant what he ate, he remains silent. Seeing this, Lakshmi raises her hand to punish him, but Tejaswini steps in to protect him. She reveals they ate hokka noodles and ice cream, reminding everyone that they used to eat the same when Mohit was alive without facing such scrutiny. She accuses Lakshmi of acting this way because of their difficult times. In response, Lakshmi shockingly blames Tejaswini for Mohit's death. Mukta challenges her, asking why Mohit left them, leaving Lakshmi speechless. The next day at the Pradhan home, Leena and Amruta find Neel burning with fever. His temperature reaches 104 degrees Fahrenheit, causing his family to panic and rush him to the hospital. Leena asks Nandini to postpone the engagement due to Neel's condition. Amol urgently calls for an ambulance as Yash informs the family that Neel is unresponsive. Concerned, Leena sprinkles water on Neel, but he doesn't wake up. In his sleep, Neel mumbles about Tejaswi, referring to her by the nickname Aprajita, so no one suspects anything. Seeing his condition worsen, the Pradhan family rushes him to the hospital. Vinod calls Satish, informing him of Neel's critical state, revealing that his fever has spiked to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Satish remains hopeful, insisting Neel will recover before the engagement. However, Vinod argues that Neel is unfit for the ceremony and suggests postponing it. Satish proposes a small family-only engagement, but Vinod firmly rejects the idea, emphasizing Neel's deteriorating health. When Satish expresses concern about Omi's reaction, Vinod offers to speak with him directly. Satish complies and hands the phone to Omi before leaving. Satish returns home and announces that the engagement is postponed, shocking his family. Lakshmi, Mukta, and Teju demand an explanation, prompting Satish to reveal Neel's illness. Lakshmi blames Teju, claiming Neel fell sick due to her taking him around the city. Satish supports this accusation, while Aditi and Teju defend Teju. Omi then confirms that the Pradhan family has decided to hold the engagement on the wedding day instead. Satish agrees but blames Mukta and Teju for the setback. Projector intervenes, reminding Satish to check on Neel instead of arguing. Satish decides to visit Neel with Juhi, while Mukta asks if they can also accompany him. Lakshmi sarcastically remarks that if Teju and Juhi go together, a competition will ensue over who loves Neel more, claiming Teju would win due to her dramatic nature. Satish refuses to let Teju join them, but after Juhi pleads, he reluctantly allows it. Upon arriving at the hospital, Vinod instructs Rituraj to retrieve Neel's medical file from home. While leaving, Rituraj unknowingly crosses paths with Teju. Satish greets the Pradhan family and inquires about Neel's condition. Meanwhile, Aditi, Juhi, and Teju visit Neel. Aditi wakes him and greets him warmly. Teju asks how he is, but Neel responds coldly, questioning why it matters to her. Taken aback, Teju challenges his tone. Elsewhere, Vinod and Satish consult the doctor about Neel's condition, hoping for better news. Teju tells Neel she doesn't understand what he's saying. Neel insists that she knows exactly what he means but is pretending not to. Juhi wonders why Neel is acting this way. When Neel asks Teju for some water, she remains silent. Frustrated, Neel asks if he isn't even worthy of taking water from her hands. Juhi, confused, asks Teju what Neel means, saying she doesn't understand. Neel comments on her remark and then tells Juhi he wants to speak with her alone. Hearing this, Aditi and Teju leave alone with Juhi. Neel confesses that even if they marry, he won't be able to make her happy. Juhi asks why he feels that way. Neel reveals that he loves Teju and has since the first time he saw her. Shocked, Juhi asks why Teju never mentioned it. Neel explains that Teju was unaware of his feelings and had rejected him when he confessed, saying he wasn't her type and that she already had a boyfriend. Neel bitterly comments on it. Juhi, with tears in her eyes, realizes that Neel loves Teju and not her. She asks what he plans to do next, but Neel admits he doesn't know. Juhi hides her emotions, hands Neel his medicine, and tells him to focus on getting better for his wedding. Before leaving, Neel urges Juhi to think about what he said and make a decision for herself. Juhi comments on it and then exits. Aditi and Teju immediately question Juhi about her conversation with Neel. Juhi refuses to share details and comments on their curiosity. Aditi then mentions that their elders are considering Teju's marriage. Teju firmly states that she won't marry. Juhi challenges her, asking if she would refuse even if a well-educated man who truly loves her proposes. Teju responds with a comment, and later, Juhi and Aditi leave. Left alone, Teju wonders what Neel had said to Juhi in private.